Hello everyone, it's Atinuka again. Hope your day has been great so far. Hope you're keeping safe. God bless you. Well, we're getting there gradually. Today, as I've done in the last few days, I want to encourage us again to do an activity. And today we're going to be doing a family tree. Yes. I was reading my Bible about 2 days ago and I came about the genealogy of Jesus Christ in Luke chapter 3 and from verses 23 to about 38 it was talking about how Jesus was thought to be the son of Joseph, the son of so and so, down the line, the son of Judah, son of Jesse, all the way to Abraham, Adam, and the Son of God. And I thought to myself, it must be important that the Bible has actually, they've gone into the trouble of noting down his, the line of his family members all the way down. And I thought to myself, if that's important in the Bible, it must be important for each and every one of us to know our family, to know our roots, to know where we came from. Also, my son and dad and I were talking about his physique, where he got his stature from. And we said, oh, you look like your grandpa on his dad's side. And he was very young when his grandpa passed, so he didn't know him. So I went and got his baby book. And yes, I have a baby book for each of my children. And this baby book is over 30 years old. But we had a picture of his grandfather there when he was being christened. So you could see that, this is whose stature you took after. And I began to see that it's important for us to know who's who in our family, if I can put it that way. Who's who in our family? Well, I mean, you may not know your family members. You may have been adopted. That doesn't mean you shouldn't do a family tree and find out, the people that probably raised you as a child. And also you can join in with somebody or a friend who is interested in doing this, drawing up a family tree line. So start with you. So today I'm going to start with me and, go through some of the things I've noted. Very sketchy, but I think it's a good idea to do this because it just opens you into a brand new world of people that you're related to and you don't even know. My grandson said to me a few months back, he came to me and he said, Grandma, do you know Grandma King? Grandma King is his grandmother on his mother's side. Do you know Grandma King is married? I thought that was really funny and sweet. I said, yes. And then I said to him, and do you know who she's married to? And he said, I don't know. I was just laughing. And I went on to tell him that, well, your grandpa on your mom's side is Grandma King's wife, or husband. And I began to think, this is the age to begin to introduce them to who family members are. And you begin to find it a way of interacting as family as well. Especially the elderly people, grandmas and great-grandmas, they love to tell their stories. So this is a good way of involving everybody. So you might need to get yourself some paper and a pen to do this exercise. And I know that it may be something that you would rather do after you've watched the video. That's fine as well. I've actually gone ahead and ordered a family chart from Amazon. It's quite cheap and they have some from like 3 generations all the way to 10 generations. But I've ordered one. It should come in any time because I find that I really now want to know other members of my family that I've passed on to glory, and so many that are all over the world that I probably don't even know, especially also on my husband's side of the family. So there are many, many benefits to doing this. But today I'm going to show you the little sketch that I made for myself. I don't know if you're able. I'll just move forward a bit and see if you're able to see this, and I'll just take you through what I've done today. You can see it's very sketchy, just to let you know that this is really easy to do, and if you don't want to do it this way, you can go ahead and order something online. And here is me in the middle. That's me there. But if you go up, you can see I've also included my siblings down there. So let's start from my parents. This is my father there. And I've put a D under his name because he's passed on, he's deceased. And this is my mom, who is still well and alive. And I'm going to be calling her to ask some questions because she can give me answer to some of the names I need to find. That's my grandmother on my mother's side, and she's got a D there as well because I know she's deceased. And my great-grandmother also with a D. And coming down here, my grandfather on my mother's side with a D, and my great-grandmother on my mother's side with a D. And the same on this side for my grandfather. My dad, my grandfather, my great-grandfather. Now coming down from my mom and dad, I have I had six siblings, and youngest up to the eldest. And what I've done is that I've put their initials there, and also their husbands, so that we can know who they got married to. That would help. That's my other sister, and that's me here. I'm third in line. My younger brother, he was a twin, but we lost him. It's going to be 40 years actually this year. And that's my younger sister and her husband. My brother, who's and his wife's name. And that's all of us down there, and that's me. And I've got my husband's name there and my name here. And these are our children. So I've got a box here for our children. I hope you can see. I hope I'm in the camera. I really need to look at this and see that I'm doing this correctly. So that's my eldest daughter. I've also included her husband's name. Our middle son, his name and his wife's name. And our youngest son, who is still single. My eldest daughter has 2 children, so there we go. And my middle son has a son. So I hope that helps. Just to give you a picture, I'll just go over it because I'm not really sure I got everything in the camera. And the beauty of it, I've done them in, also color-coded them, so it makes it easy to know what I'm looking at. And also you can now begin to expand on each box. You can go to your father, for example. This is my mom, and begin to draw up more names of her siblings and who they got married to, her nephews and nieces and all those sorts of things. So I hope that helps. But like I said, if you don't want to go into the trouble of actually drawing the boxes yourself, you could order one online. They're not expensive at all. So what are the benefits of this exercise? One, I believe it gives us an opportunity to pray for our family members by name. Because then you have your chart up there. You can actually every single day pray for them by name. And that would be amazing. Secondly, it's a good way to begin conversations, especially if you still have grandmas and grandpas and great-grandparents. You begin to ask them their stories, their life stories. This is the time to pick up your phone. They don't have to be in the same room with you. And say, oh, Grandma, can you tell me a little about Grandpa or a little about your great-grandfather? And then begin to take notes, because you need to draw up this family tree and you need information to do that. and also brings back memories and puts a smile on the faces of our loved ones when we do that. Also, I find that you have gifts and talents that you're wondering where they came from. I remember when my youngest son began to ride, I was like, it was really interesting. Who rides in the family? And I was talking to my mom. My mom said, oh, your dad used to ride when he was younger. Oh, so I see where this cycling thing came from. So you begin to find that gifts come down, they pass on from generation to generation. So it's good to find out why is it you're so good at a particular thing. I know for sure that my entire family like music. My mother's side of the family, my father's side of the family, they all played one instrument or the other. They sing in the choir. I find that me and my siblings were all in the choir. Our children now, either they're playing instruments or they're singing in the choir. They're doing one thing or the other. So it's good also to find out this thing that I'm so good at. Which member of the family has it in them? Where did I inherit that from? It's also good to help us to find out what to watch out for. When you go to the doctors, usually they say to you, does anybody have diabetes in the family? Does anybody have a kidney problem in the family? This is because some things can be hereditary. So you want to find out what it is that runs in the family so you can watch out for these things. And also spiritually, you find that in some families, there is a lot of premature death. Maybe there's a curse, a generational curse that is running down, and you want to make sure that you cut yourself away from such. I heard a man share a testimony of how in his family nobody reaches the age of 50, and thank God he became a Christian. He was able to now begin to pray about this, and from then on, from his generation on, people began to live much longer. So it's important for us to do this research, or at least look into these things, so that we can begin to learn one or two things about ourselves, about our family members. And especially now that we're all at home, it's a good exercise to do, to bring joy and a smile to somebody's face, just listening to their stories. So go get your paper and pen, and when this video is over, begin to do this exercise. I think you'll find it very interesting, and you can call up as many people as possible, nephew, nieces. Also, most of our children don't know who their cousins are, so they need to know who their first cousin is, their second cousin, their third cousin, nephews, nieces, aunties, uncles. This is a good opportunity for them to get to know who these people are. Even if they haven't met them face to face, at least put a name down first, and then later on, when we can all move around, they can begin to bring family together to get to know, have a family reunion. Wouldn't that be amazing to have family come together over a meal or something, just sharing different stories? So that's what I have for you today. I hope you'll take the challenge, because I'm going to call it a challenge. I'm certainly going to do mine. As soon as my child comes in, I'll be filling all those blank boxes and making sure that my children, my grandchildren, and my great-grandchildren, when the time comes, get to know where they came from, who their families and relatives are. Well, we thank God for each of our lives, and as usual, we're going to make our usual confessions. I will live, I will not die, and there is no plague that will come near my dwelling place. The Lord loves you greatly. I want to say thank you for listening today. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay blessed, and by God's grace, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.